Hey everybody, it is Cleisha. How are you? Hope all is well. I am sitting in my living room and first of all, welcome to this page. Welcome to Closing Open Rooms. Um, I'm Cleisha, of course, yours truly. And on here, I just want to talk about some things that come to my mind, some things that I think about in my quiet time. I love, I'm a little do people know I'm more of an introvert. I am a people person, but I love to retreat to my home, my cozy home, my room or whatever, and just decompress from, the cares of the day. But what I want to discuss, what I want to talk to you about is our children. From a very young age, I realized that children are loaned to us by God. Me growing up without my mother, um, I don't know if you know or not, but she suffered drug abuse and alcoholism. And we buried her about 3 years ago. And I knew that when I had children, I wanted to make sure I invested into their lives, not just materialistically, um, just really invest and prepare them for their future. Many people, like myself, have disadvantages. We grew up without those necessary building blocks for relationships and just different things that we need for our lives, right? So when I think about children, I think about them being loaned to us. When I had my two sons, I poured into them, love, affection. I told them as men, this is how you should handle things and really prepare them for their lives. They're going to be someone's husband one day, they're going to be someone's father. Giving them the necessary tools as much as I could possibly give them to get them ready for their future. A lot of us aren't doing that as parents. We're not preparing our children for their future. We're not preparing them to be better human beings, to be better adults. Some of us are not even preparing our children financially with credit literacy and other things that I have input into my children because I had to learn the hard way. I had to file bankruptcy many years ago. I've been through divorce. I've had to start all over with my credit. Every tool that I've learned, I've put that in my two sons. It's very, very important. Now, this goes into what I really want to talk about. If you're around my age, if you were born in, the 80s, 70s, 80s, we're all looking at these kids and we're like, this is the most entitled generation we've ever come across. I mean, raise your hands if you're with me, right? I don't know what's up with these kids. And then I started thinking, we are part of the problem with these children. This new generation, I mean, a lot of us in the 70s and 80s and going back, we all grew up without. My mom was heavily addicted to drugs in the 80s and everything like that. So it was rough. So when we became adults, most of us just gave our children the things that we didn't have growing up instead of teaching them the necessary tools that we didn't know. That is the problem. This new generation is entitled because they get reward without any work. They just believe that, it's just they're supposed to just pop and get anything. They don't work for anything. They don't do their chores. We don't hold them accountable. They cry, we give them what they want immediately. And that's where we have done a disservice to our children, in my opinion. Mind you, this is my opinion. This is not a one size fit all, but this is what I'm noticing. Mothers and fathers breaking their necks to get their children the newest iPhone, to make sure they have the newest clothes and latest gear. which is nice, and we want to do that. I understand that. But what are we doing to our children's mentality as an adult when they get an adult? What are we teaching them? What are we doing? So now we have all these entitled young people. They don't want to work. They believe that their parents are still supposed to do for them, even when they go out and make decisions on their own. We're not teaching them right. So I understand that we have an entitled generation, but we are the cause of it. I'm sorry. I feel that we have much to do with it. And it's sad. You look at the schools today, everyone just wants the latest whatever's going on, and then you have the children that don't have, and then they want it. They get mad at their parents because they can't get it. Our homes are divided. Everyone's fighting. No one's getting along. We're not teaching our children to be prepared for the real world. We are creating a false narrative for this generation that's going to knock them upside their head. Seriously, we're not preparing our children for the real world. I've been in church all of my life. My grandparents were assistant pastors growing up. I have a lot of family members, and I know a lot of people that are preachers and preachers' kids. And a conversation came up with one of my friends on how, we treat the pastor's kids and how we uphold them, and they are just, the golden kids. Even in that, we do a disservice. We do. Because we create this false narrative that, oh, you can do no wrong, all is well, you're going to have everything. And we give them things and we just go overboard. But when they get adults, no one's going to be there. They may not have anyone to pump them up or, pat them on the back. And that's what causes anxiety and depression, because we're not honest with our children. We're not. At a young age, as my children were getting older, I had very serious conversations with them regarding bills, regarding finances, where we are, what I needed, why I had to work, why was I going to school, sitting down and explaining to them what budgeting looks like, taking them shopping, look at the prices. Teaching my sons at least how to make a couple meals. If you have a wife that's going to have to work, if you're off, you don't get to just sit home and play video games. You are to serve her as well. We have done a disservice to these children. We really have. I pray that things turn around eventually, but it's got to start with us. It's got to start with us. I feel, and this is just for me, this is not, for everyone. When I have children that I'm raising, it is my job to prepare them for the future. And this world don't love them. We have to be honest. It's a cruel, cold world out here. Temper tantrums is not going to make a difference. No one's going to care. You don't do the job right, you're fired. What do you want to do? We have to start having these conversations, realistic conversations with our children. Children need discipline. Children need structure so they can be better adults, better parents, better role models. That is the difference. No, my children are not perfect whatsoever, but they are happy and they are whole. That is the difference. They understand what they're here for. I got them ready for their life. I got them ready for their future. That's what we need to be doing as parents. Yes, they are your babies and you are blessed to have them. However, they're loaned to you. They don't belong to you. You're raising another person's husband, wife, in-law, worker, employee. Get to your children as early as possible and pour into them so they can be better adults. I'm challenging you. Guys, let me know how you feel in the comments. What have you done with your children to get them ready for their lives? What are you doing? Are you holding on too tight? I know it's hard. When my son moved out, my oldest moved out, I was like, oh my God, it's weird now because now he comes to visit. But it's such a blessing seeing him handle business, seeing him be able to go and buy a car. And mom, what do you think about this? Being able, to get the job he wants in the career that he wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is our job to help our children. My oldest had a hard time in high school. He actually spent 5 years in high school. And I said, baby, I know it's tough, but you got to get it. You don't have to go to college, but you need to find a trade or something you can do to support you and your family. You got to do this. And he just graduated from electrician school. So I am a proud mom. And I have a senior as well. And he's looking to go into corrections. So please, please, please raise your children right. Discipline them. Teach them how to cook and clean. Teach them how to take care of themselves, because you're not always going to be here. You got to understand that. Teach them about finances, retirement, the 401ks, credit. This is your job. That's why God gave you that beautiful blessing. That's why God gave you those children, to prepare them for their next. I love you guys. Let me know what you think about this. I know I was in a bit of a rant. It's raining and I know the lighting is bad, but y'all know me. When I'm thinking something, I got to tell it. I love you guys. Have a blessed day. Bye.